Welcome back to another video. I'm feeling much better this week. My voice is still a little weird, so ignore that. But I think it's crazy as fuck that we are literally like in November now. I can't believe that it's the end of the year. Like, I feel like this year have went by so fast, and now we literally have 2 months until 2024. That's 2 months until I turn 31. Like, it's just fucking crazy as hell. But I'm excited for 2024. I'm excited each year to bring a new energy, to be better than you was the year before. It's also that time to start reflecting on like what energy you like the best about this year, what energy you don't want to take into the next year, what things you want to improve on, and how you can just better your life. So I just be excited as hell for the end of the year. Plus, like I said, my birthday is in the beginning of the year, so it's like a double fresh start for me. Let's get into today's video, which is basically about transitional periods, a time of stagnation, and self-compassion. So my energy this past couple of weeks have pretty much been a time of uncertainty, more like flowing and allowing, but also it feels like like I'm confused on which direction I'm going. I'm just kind of just going with the flow, and I'm trusting that the path ahead of me is the path that is for me. So it was also pretty much confirmed when Rebel Flower dropped a live this weekend, and it pretty much talked about everything that I've been feeling. She described this feeling as you're floating down a stream and you're not really sure where you're headed. You panic a little bit, and it feels like every time you go under the water, you feel like you're gonna drown, but it's this energy, this force that brings you back up, and it's just like you're flowing again. Everything is good and everything is okay. And I just feel like that has been so true for my life right now. Like, I don't know where I'm going. Every time I think that I'm in a sticky situation, I'm really not. Every time that I think some bad shit is gonna happen, the opposite actually happens. So I just wanted to come on here and talk about how important the transitional phase is. So I feel like things are moving pretty slowly because summertime is over. It's the end of the year. It may feel like almost like a period of stagnation, but actually it's a transitional period. It's a time of growth. We have to use these slow days and the long hours to really focus on building our future. It's a time of evaluating your life and eliminating the things that do not bring you happiness, and moving forward and closer to the things that do bring you happiness, things that reflect the life that you actually want to live. Ask yourself questions. Are you pleased with what you're spending your energy on every day? So it's more like, are the actions that you're taking now, are they going to reflect how you want your future to be? So I know that this is something that I've been dealing with, and it can be a very confusing time because with growth and rebuilding, you're basically shedding away your old skin and your old self to blossom into who you really want to be and who you really feel like you are. And it can be kind of hard to adjust and adapt because basically it's like you're in between your old self and your new self, and it really is a time of confusion. It really is almost like walking on new undiscovered grounds. And it can be almost like you don't recognize yourself. Like, I swear most of the time when I look in the mirror, I don't recognize myself because I'm just in this in-between phase. And I'm like, well, I'm not my old self, but who the fuck is this new person? And the key is to stay the course. Keep moving as your new self. Walk into the unfamiliar territory with yourself and like push your limits. Sometimes we want to give up and give into the negative energy and the negative thoughts, especially when it feels like we've been planting the seeds and we don't see any results. But I keep hearing that you cannot show up in a new story, in a new narrative, in a new life with your old self. And a lot of the times we try to bring and drag our old self, our old thoughts, our old values, all that shit with us to our new self. But if those ideals are not reflective of who you really want to be in the future, it's not gonna work. And you're gonna keep repeating the cycle because you're still holding on to the same old qualities. That's when self-sabotage comes in. that's when feeling like things are too good to be true. And then you pretty much end up fucking yourself over because you're trying this new situation, but with the old mindset. And it doesn't work that way. I know that this is something I've definitely struggled with. Like, I have overcome a lot of stuff in my life, but sometimes it is so fucking hard to just let go of the trauma. And what I mean by that is I'm over the trauma, but I still move with caution as if I'm still in the trauma. And it doesn't work that way. And you self-sabotage because your brain is like, oh fuck, I'm still in this old situation. But actually you're not. You're not in the old situation. You're in a new situation, which means you have to basically react to the reality, not react to the old reality that you once lived in. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense to me. When you change mentally. You also change emotionally. And it all starts from within. And then eventually the physical, your environment will follow. And this is what I'm struggling with now. I am so ready for my environment to change. I am so ready to be in a different space than the one I'm in now. But I haven't planted all the necessary seeds to get to where I want to be. I haven't implemented and learned all the lessons that I need to learn to be on a different level, especially emotionally and mentally. Guys, it's some shit that I'm really trying to deal with, and it's so fucking hard to change. Like, change is so hard. The mind be attacking me at every second when I be trying to go against the patterns and the old thought process that I used to have. Literally be attacking my ass. But like I said, the key is to stay the course. You have to push out the negative thoughts. You have to stay positive and focus on what you want. It's also like, you know how they be like, the devil's trying to bring you down? That's basically what it is. Think of it as in you're on the right path. You're doing something good. So of course, the negative, the bad, the demons, they want to stop you from reaching your end goal. I haven't done all the transitioning that I need. And sometimes it's so frustrating because it just feels like I'm so ready to see the results of everything that I've done. And it's just not happening at the right time and fast enough for me. And that goes back to my other video of when I was saying, you don't get things when you want them. You get things when they need them and when it's time for you to receive. You can't change instantly. We are all under construction, and eventually the project will be complete. But we have to remember to enjoy the journey on the way. And I just feel like sometimes we get so lost in the negative side of the journey that we don't see the good things that's happening for us right now. We're so focused on what we want to happen that we're not realizing all the other beautiful things that are blossoming in our life. You have to dead ass separate yourself from that energy when you feel like it's bringing you down. You have to think positive thoughts. You have to feel and live positive thoughts. Because as I always say, your thoughts create your reality. So if you think of negative shit, that's what's gonna happen. But even if you feel the negative thoughts in your head, but you decide to focus on the positive, I always say, whenever you have a negative thought, replace it with 2 positive thoughts. Something like that, like affirmations. Wake up, say affirmations in the morning. I know that I definitely have to talk to myself in the mirror because I be tweaking. And I'm just like, these negative thoughts aren't gonna bring me down. Also, one thing that Rebel Flower said in her live that really stuck out to me was, she said that we have to stop tuning into the negative thoughts because we are in fear of the very thing that we desire. And that's so fucking true because, okay, I'm gonna use my YouTube as an example for this. So obviously I'm into this YouTube thing. I'm not trying to become like a huge YouTuber or anything, but putting myself out there and making videos and sharing poems and all that shit, it's not fucking easy, but yet it's something that I want to do. And I swear, when I started the poetry segment, guys, I was freaking the fuck out. Like, I was constantly like having doubts in my head and constantly talking down on myself about not sharing the stuff I want to share. And it's just so crazy because it's like we do desire something, and then when we are on our way to getting it or putting the desire into action, we get all this fear behind it. And I mean, we human, of course, fear comes up, but we can't fear our desires. Like, if we want something, we're gonna have to go after it strong, and you can't allow the negative thoughts on the way or the little setbacks to completely deter us from what that we want to do. Like, not to be this person, but we do literally only have one life. So why not do what you want to do to make you happy? Why not go out there and be your true authentic self? Like, what's the point of hiding? What's the point of having fear? You know, this is my fucking life. We have to live our truth. The lows in life pretty much teach you, you know, when you're sad, when you're down. I just feel like that means you just need to put your energy into something else. You need to focus your energy into something that makes you happy, something that you want to build on, something that you want to grow. And I know a lot of times, like, being down, that's an energy that people can get stuck in. Like, I swear to God, last week I was like sad as hell, and it was like really hard for me to do things, but that's just our mental state. So I'm finna get out of here, but you really have to have self-compassion and grace for yourself when you're in transition, when you're not mentally feeling good, and when things are hard. Beating yourself up more is pretty much just gonna make you feel worse. That's like you venting to a friend and they just say negative shit back to you. Like, was that fucking helpful? We always beat ourselves up, but when it comes to other people, we're so loving and we're so, oh, here, nice things, but we don't say nice things to ourselves. Self-criticism is literally like one of the worst things that we can do to ourselves. I'm not saying don't be self-aware and call yourself out when you're doing bullshit, but I mean literally self-criticism, putting yourself down, talking bad about yourself. You need to give yourself compassion and acknowledge when you're having a hard time. It's like giving yourself a little break when it's necessary. We always be beating ourselves up. With self-criticism, you are basically the attacker and the attacked. Like, stop it. But it's a lot harder. Like, I swear, we all know that this shit is a lot harder practicing it than it is just talking. Like, I can talk on here forever, but when you actually do the work, man, that shit be so fucking hard sometimes. I think it's important to try to find creative outlets when you're feeling down or when you're in these periods of stagnation and transition and it's just very confusing. Find creative outlets, you know? Do things that make you feel good. Eat good. Exercise, you know, fucking paint, write, I don't know, whatever y'all into. Don't procrastinate. Don't procrastinate, but also practice self-compassion at the same time. So if you need a break, then yes, procrastinate a little. But I'm talking, you know what I mean when I'm talking about procrastinating. Don't be procrastinating. Plan your future. Get your future together. When I was sad last week, I definitely had to, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But I'm just here to say that just be gentle with yourself during the times of transition. Be gentle with yourself when you're under construction and things are not where you want them to be. Transition is hard. We've held on to who we thought we were in the past for however long. And then it's like, now you're trying to be this different person who has different thoughts, different actions, whatever. And it's hard. It's almost like you're losing a part of yourself. You're shedding your old skin, like I said, you're dying in a sense, and then you're reborn. And that shit is not easy because sometimes you don't recognize yourself. And so that's what I'm just saying. Have self-compassion for these times. This video really was for me because I have been beating myself up so bad, and I have to remember that it's a process. It's a process. I'm planting the seeds now that I want to grow in the future. I can't be so thirsty to get the growth when I haven't planted the correct seeds. So, thank you guys so much for all the support. And I hope that you guys have a good rest of your day and start thinking about how you want to change for 2024.